Okay, los. Definitely a hit there.
Hello everyone, this is Jeff of Tau Flittermouse. Today we're going to test out backwards Foster slugs, also known as rifled slugs. What if I told you that a Green Beret once told me if you flip a Foster slug around, it'll do cool stuff? Sorry, I just can't help myself sometimes. Anyway, this idea comes from our viewers and their comments, asking us to load a Foster slug backwards and see what it actually does. I don't know if anyone's actually documented this before, but I thought it'd be kind of interesting to see what it actually does. Now, as a kid with an air rifle, you probably did exactly what I did and tried shooting pellets backwards out of it. In almost every video I post, there's always someone in the comment section saying, you should have shot it backwards and see what it does. So that's what we're going to do in this video. Now, if we just cut the shell open and flipped it around, that'd be too easy and probably wouldn't work very well. So we're going to use a custom recipe just for this load. Now, a Foster slug has a rounded nose and it's made of very thin and soft lead. So if we fired it like this, it would absolutely crush the entire nose of it. And it would probably also damage the gas seal. So I had to create custom wads for these things that cradle it and spread the load over the entire nose of it. And this is made of wet toilet paper pulp that's been compressed, and it is rock hard at this point after it dries. Now each slug has been marked with yellow and blue paint so that we could see the actual orientation in the high-speed camera. We'll be using a BRP-12 gas seal from Ballistic products, a leather wad, and then there's our toilet paper wad, and then our slug. And it's all been roll crimped up, and that is a heck of a hollow point there. I admit it looks pretty good, but let's see how it actually performs.
I am back out here at the range. We're going to study the myth of an old hunter who claimed that shooting Foster slugs backwards was so much more deadly. I'm kidding. I don't know if there's any rumors like that, but it sure sounds clickbaity. But anyway, these are specially loaded, just a complete reload, as I mentioned earlier, to make these possibly work. Different powder load, different wad, just every component in there is custom for this project. And I think it gives it the best chance of working, and it still may not work. So anyway, we've got the remote trigger here on our shotgun there, the Mossberg 500, that Stanley shotgun, and we got the smooth bore on there, and I want to see how these do out of a smooth bore. I expect them to be horrible, but I've been wrong many times. I love being wrong if I can be surprised. So we're about 16 yards, maybe 15 yards away. 16 yards to the back of the table, so about 15 yards just to be very clear here. We got this mild steel plate. It's about I don't know, 12 inch by 10 inch or something like that. 3 16th inch thick. And we're gonna see how a backwards Foster slug behaves out of a smooth bore. And we are now using two 4K cameras. We're finally in the 21st century, folks. And I hope the image quality is better now. It wasn't terrible before, but now we got 4K. If you're watching on a TV, you'll probably see a difference. Okay, smooth bore. Aiming right at the sticker on the center there. Here we go.
Okay, we have a lot of junk flying through the air along with our slug, so we're going to reverse it and then play it again and talk about what the heck is going on with this horrible shot. A lot of that junk is that toilet paper wad, and it's just disintegrating as it's flying through the air. But there's our slug, and it's just flying sideways. And I wouldn't even call it tumbling. It just kind of stabilized and said, this is how I want to fly through the air, basically. Out of a smooth bore, not very accurate, and hitting sideways is not optimal.
Pretty good whump on the plate. Accuracy was not great, a little high and to the left. You know, that we gotta blame that on California, being in California, right? So still a pretty decent dent for a slug, but you can actually see the shape of the slug. It's almost a bell shape there. So not so great out of a smoothbore as we expected.
Next, we'll use a rifled barrel and see if we can spin stabilize this mess.
Rifled barrel, aiming at the sticker again.
We definitely saw a big improvement in both stability and accuracy using full rifling. And best of all, we don't have a bunch of toilet paper blocking our view. It was all flung out of frame. But that's pretty normal Foster slug accuracy. And now I know that if I shoot at a smaller target, I have a pretty good chance of hitting it.
A little more respectable. And it could have just been the way I aimed it. But I was aiming right at the center of that sticker. So these might drop a little tiny bit, but definitely hitting the sticker is half the battle. We just clipped the bottom of it. And you can see the amount of damage is a little bit more, but there was a previous little impact right there, so you can't really judge too much. But the dent is much bigger just from hitting nose first. It seemed to fly pretty well though. Okay, up next we got the clear ballistic gummy bear that I cast myself, and I'm confident we can hit it after that last shot, and we'll see if our luck holds out though. Okay, los! Definitely a hit there. Okay, los!
All right, another dead center shot there, and we see all kinds of lead fragments exiting that bear. And you'll notice that the toilet paper wad is still riding in the low pressure wake behind that slug. It's not stuck to it. Now, these backward slugs were a big surprise to me because I didn't expect this kind of accuracy. Heck, I didn't even rule out a catastrophic failure of the gun. You know, it's that sketchy, and I would not recommend trying this load yourself just for your own safety.
Very happy with that shot, and it landed right where I was aiming, right in the dead center of the belly there. And look at that hole. It just... Stop it. Yeah, it's one knuckle deep or so. And then out of the back, you can see how it exploded. Hopefully you can see that. There's no slug. There's nothing in there. It's just like behaved like the super hollow point that it is. I'm surprised how deep that hole is there. That's amazing. Okay, for our last trick, we've got the clear-ish ballistic gel. Now, believe it or not, this is a brand new block. Clear Ballistics was selling, and I went to go buy a block or two from them, and I noticed that they have what's called less than perfect blocks. There was no photo of what they look like, but in my mind, I imagined a lot of bubbles and stuff like that. I didn't imagine it'd be yellow like that. And of course, this is right out of the box, and you got the normal embossing or wrinkles or whatever on the gel, because they keep using this weird crisp, crinkly cellophane wrapper on it. And then you have to spend a good hour with a heat gun or a torch or something trying to get that out of there, which is, it never looks right. You almost have to, or you really, if you want it to look good, you have to recast it right out of the box. And I wish they would put some kind of protecting, a thin, really thin plastics, over that, and then wrap it with a plastic bag or whatever. But yeah, I don't know if they realize what it looks like when it gets to the customer. Now must admit, maybe it sat in the pot over the weekend or something, and it's like, well, we got to do something with this 500 pounds of gel that we've got here. But just be warned, it is going to be a little bit yellow. It of course is going to be wrinkled and all that. But I love the company. It's a really small business, and I just wish mostly that they could package it so it doesn't come out all wrinkled like that. Okay, ballistic jelly. I think that it's going to dump a lot of energy, and our little pokey pal there is gonna fly there. Let's hit it. Gonna fly there. Let's hit it.
I gotta say, that is a pretty gory ballistic gel shot. Even with that yellow gel, you can see what's going on. That slug blew up when it hit that gel block, though. It just turned into a frag grenade. And I'm kind of impressed how it broke apart in uniform segments, as if it was meant to do that. Now, depending on the Foster slug, and especially its velocity, it will normally penetrate 12 inches or 16 inches. In other words, it might even exit the entire block. Our backwards one, we might have gotten 6 inches.
See how it did to our orphanage grade gel block. You can see I got it about as dead center as you could possibly get. Of course, I was only about 12, 13 feet away from the muzzle, but still very accurate. I aimed right up here because of the height of the red dot, so it landed it right in the center. Did not get a big deep hole that time, a shallow hole. Very shallow penetration. I'm reading just under 6 inches there. But let's move that out of the way and look at this cone of destruction there. Let me get on the other side so I don't have my shadow in there, huh? See, the gel is yellowed, but it's still pretty darn clear. And we can see what happened in there. Yeah, if you're budget minded and you want some gel but don't want to pay $100 for it or whatever it is, shipping is really expensive too. I think it was like $40 for 2 blocks. So I spent a fortune with them. Tal Flare Mouse fortune, that is. Your mileage might vary. But look at all the fragments. That is just, that's pretty ugly. Probably be a pretty good home defense round, but you don't have that penetration, but just that energy dump into that would definitely make people rethink their life's decisions, right? But very shallow, kind of as we expected. And if I had juiced these things up to fly even hotter and faster, I don't think we'd get much more penetration, because it just, maybe an inch or so. But not loaded super hot, just for safety reasons. But seemed to work pretty well as like a super duper hollow point. Well, there you go. That's it. Orphanage grade gel block. Not too bad looking, really. Not as nice as a nice clear one, though. Maybe the other ones aren't as bad as that, I hope. I just wanted bubbles, So that's it for today. Very quick video. I only had 4 slugs on hand. And a lot of people wanted to see this, and I didn't want to make it into a 30-minute episode shooting 12 of these things or something. You get a pretty good idea what they do. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.